my name's Eve Rowles. I'm the Technical Delivery Manager here at EURA UK, and I'm joined by Lewis Shirtliff, who is our Senior Ops Lead. So, first things first, What do we mean by the term SPS? What is it? How does trade in SPS goods work now?
So currently SPS is sanitary and phytosanitary goods. There's a lot of export health certificates involved and other paperwork. Physical inspections are often needed. And at the minute it's used to risk categorise imports, causing potential sort of detains if they don't match the SPS requirements. Goods are often detained as they're not fit to enter the UK market. So
it's a sort of a risk checker, if you like, to just make sure that either the plants, the seeds, the food products, even the live animals that we're importing are safe and meet our UK requirements.
Yeah, so basically they're in place to protect the UK market.
So, like you said, both the EU and the UK have their own sanitary and phytosanitary rules, and there's calling through the EU-UK SPS reset to sort of align the two sets of rules. Yeah. So, are we looking at a full-blown reset, or is it just a rebrand, rename?
It has the potential to be a full-blown reset. It has the potential to help sort of with reducing the number of checks. However, it also brings a lot of risks, because obviously you're getting rid of some of the safeguarding, the checks, where in the past that we have spotted issues. Potentially now we're getting rid of them, so we won't spot those issues.
And your everyday importer might say to us, well, why am I having to have these goods checked? But then it's protecting the UK domestic market. Yeah. Okay, in terms of the reset then, there will be some parties who do benefit from this, but who would benefit the most from a reset and alignment with the EU?
I think at the minute it'd be the everyday sort of importers, exporters, hauliers, because you'll see quicker turnarounds, more certainty on decisions, and I think there'll be a lot less checks on sort of low risk routine goods. So they'll see a lot less friction.
Right. Okay. So your general everyday, maybe twice weekly or so shipments, they could reduce in checks. Yeah. But then why don't we as the UK just make that happen? We don't have to align with the EU for that to happen. We could control that ourselves. Yeah. So at the border then, we want to make sure that those checks, the risk management, is sort of proportionate to the goods that are coming in. What would that actually look like? So
I think that would look like matching the level of intervention against the actual level of risk of the goods. However, I think with the reset and you losing the export health certificates, you lose the visibility of the risk of the goods. Because it's quite easy at the minute to determine what's low risk and medium risk or high risk due to the export health certificate. But I think that risk of the reset, you could lose the visibility a little bit.
And we have heard from the likes of Ashford Port Health Authority say that a lot of traders even still don't know what should be low or medium risk, and one of the risk protectors that we've got is that Ashford Port Health are saying, okay, but you've imported it as low risk, these should have been deemed as medium risk. So they're always trying to protect our biosecurity levels by just making sure that the risk has been interpreted correctly. So it sounds reasonable in terms of an everyday trader, as you've said, but there'd be a lot of negative impacts to the UK as a independent nation, really. So what would those negative impacts be? What would it look like?
I think we'd lose a lot of flexibility of the controls we can implement and how we control our borders and the goods coming in.
Yep.
So I think streamlining the process can affect UK farmers as well.
Yep.
As it's easier for imports, so there's more desire for just bringing it in rather than domestic products. And I think the highest risk would be the UK market and sort of farming potentially flooded with diseases. So since, not the reset, but we've had control, 208 tonnes of seized goods have been seized since November 2024.
And that's obviously stopped those goods getting onto the UK supermarket shelves, and helping and even getting into UK farms, things like that. So It sort of takes away our independence that we all voted for in the referendum, I suppose. But it could be good, it could be bad, but it takes away that level of risk management that we currently have, that we put in place. Border target operating model was obviously implemented to target that risk and to make sure that we were checking the goods that needed to be checked. And we spent a lot of money on that as a nation to manage our biosecurity. And the risk never disappeared. No. It's still there.
There's still diseases all across Europe sort of that can affect our sort of internal market as well.
Yeah, and we see those now. We see goods detained all the time because of potential risk of foot and mouth disease.
LSD, ASF, all the recent affecting disease outbreaks.
And obviously the biggest outbreak that we can remember in recent history, let's say, was the foot and mouth disease back in the early 2000s, decimated UK farming.
Yeah.
So the alignment with the EU would potentially bring about that risk again of decimating our farms by just allowing in goods with potential African swine fever, foot and mouth disease, whatever it might be, avian influenza, could worsen our levels of biosecurity on UK shores.
And I think definitely like getting rid of the blank sort of checks and all this sort of thing, it will be good for everyday low risk, but there is still that, there's a massive number there, that 208 tonnes that were detained.
Yeah.
They might have been
overlooked. And that's just at one Port Health Authority.
So they might have been overlooked, and this alignment might increase. So there's definitely got to be robust safeguard measures implemented to ensure that this works.
But we could just put those in ourselves as a current independent nation. There's no reason why we have to align with the EU. We could implement those changes as the UK government themselves and make it work for us rather than trying to bend to fit with the EU.
Definitely.
Okay, so that's all on. That's our opinion on the EU-UK SPS reset. It's probably not the best idea in the world, and there probably would be better ways to work around it as a UK nation that would work better for us, allow more future trade deals, things like that, because some other nations won't trade with us or won't make a trade deal, should I say, if we're aligning with EU requirements. But that was all on the EU-UK SPS reset, and be sure to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube to find out more.